Good Saturday morning, August 16th. Yeah, we need rain. I know some of you are going to say, that looks pretty good. Well, we're going to find out this morning. I got some CRP ground I got to mow, brush hog for one of my landlords, but it's supposed to be in the low 90s today. Humidity is just, it's horrid already, sweating. I think I'm going to wait till tomorrow when it drops down into the mid 80s and is still humid. And then Monday through like Thursday, they're talking 70s. That would be nice. Our chance of rain tomorrow, being Sunday, has pretty much disappeared. They're showing south now. Our next chance is next Tuesday, Wednesday, like 30-40% chance. It is what it is. We've had a half an inch so far the first 16 days of August, but I'm going to jump in the gator, show you what the corn's kind of looking like. It looks, you know, a little better being it's morning. It's like 9:30. And then I'm going to grab some corn from like 4 different planting dates and bring it back here, maybe put it on the back of the gator there and look at it, see what it looks like. Get off the GoPro, little bug. Probably when I take the gator up here, just to show you, I'll run out back and we'll look at some beans too. Because some of you were asking for a crop tour, so I'll take you around and show you some. And we'll see how, get out of here. We'll see how good or bad it's starting to look. You can see along the edge of this field how it's starting to, it ain't very tall to start with, how it's starting to burn up from the bottom up. And don't go by the size of the ears on the outside of a field. Never do that, because that's the ones that get the most, you know, sunlight and air. But yeah, you can see right here, that's not looking so good. There's starting to be more and more of that around. I'm going to stop here because these 2 fields, this is the one that goes down behind my house. So this was planted May 15th, which, as I've told you in previous videos, is the first corn we planted, or first day. That wasn't the exact first field, but first day. And then this one on this side was June 1st. Yeah, you can see going up through there how yellowy brown it's starting to get on the bottom. But all right, now I gotta walk in there and get all itchy, turning you off. All right, just to show you, like I say, don't go by what you see on the outside of the field. This is from in the field. It's considerably smaller than the one on the outside, considerably less girth. Hell, it's considerably smaller than this June 1st planted corn. But anyways, I'm going to peel it back. I'm going to grab one of those June 1. And then I'm going to go get, let's see, this was May 15th. I think the next planting, I got to stop at the shop again and grab my book. I don't think I grabbed it. No, I did not. I think we went from May 15th to May 20th, May 25th, something like that. It was so wet this spring, it wasn't like we just started and went, obviously. All right, this is up back. The shop and grain facility, whatnot's down there. This was the very first beans planted. I mean, first field. You know, they're up a little above the knee, but they're starting to pod all the way to the top now. But the pods are just down here at the bottom is where they should be filling out the most, and they're pretty flat. There's some that are filling. That plant was wet. I don't know if you can see the moisture on my hands. We've been living off of dew. I mean, we've been getting some heavy dew, which, thank you for getting that. I mean, We definitely need it. Ooh. The deer flies are a son of a bitch. So, but I just wanted to show you the beans. The beans, for whatever reason, seem to be surviving the dry better than the corn. I mean, I don't know how well you can see that corn, like along the headland there, how short and brown that's starting to get on that field behind the shop. But yeah, another half an inch would go a long ways. An inch or two would really go a long ways, but so far the beans have kind of held their own. The corn I'm getting a little nervous about. So, alright, we're going back, jump in the truck, go to the different fields rather than drive this thing all over the place. Alright, I went and picked 4 ears of corn. Some of you are going to look at that and say, well, they're not half bad. That was 5/15 planting date. It's 16 around, 37 long. 5/20 planting date, 12 around, 38 long. 5/28, 16 around, 34 long. 6/1, 12 around, 38 long. All right, now I'll tell you what they are. So the first one is a 99-day Pioneer. All right, the one on 5/20, let me look. 5/20, blah, 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 blah. That is a 95-day channel. The one on 5/28, I'm looking at my book, so bear with me. Flipping pages. 5/28, that is a Pioneer 91-day corn. And so is that one on 6/1. I have some other channel corn, so I don't know, some people can say it's not fair I didn't go get some other channel. But I just wanted to get, the main thing with that was to show you the difference, basically 2 weeks made. Now there was, the farm down to Ira was planted 6/3. That's an 89-day channel. It's probably not much different than this, for as far as maturity, this 91-day Pioneer. But this corn all has some potential, but it's running out of the potential quick. And I'm going to show you what I mean. Here's 16 around by 37 long. You shouldn't be able to put your fingers around a 16 around and still have a gap in there even. I mean, that should be way girthier. Look at the 12 around. Huge gap in there between my thumb and my middle finger. Same with this one that's 16 around. It's not filling out. The kernels are not, bulking up like they need to, which means if we don't get any rain to make that happen, test weight's gonna suck. This little pissy ass kernels you see is what you're gonna get. That's what the final product's gonna be, and not much test weight. So the potential is there for the corn. It's just we need moisture bad at this point. So here's what pisses me off about the USDA, and I'll do more in the next few weeks after we, fingers crossed, hopefully get some rain to see how things are progressing. But when the USDA with their WASDA report came out with their bullshit here this past week, 188.8 bushels. I mean, that's like an astronomical fucking record. It's just, and the one guy that sends me the emails from the Helena company there, that Jody Lawrence, he put in there, well, they use farmer surveys. Well, farmers are fucking idiots in plain English. So be pissed off at me if you'd like, but somebody calls me about a survey, what my crop looks like, I tell them, looks like fucking dog shit, I mean, stop. Farmers, just stop right now with the dick measuring thing. Your dick's got to be bigger than your neighbor's or the farm 10 miles away. My stuff looks way better than theirs. Oh, I'm going to have an astronomical yield. Good job of helping to promote prices to go to shit. So the second thing that he said in there, Well, that was my reply to him when he sent that email about how part of it was farmer survey and part of it was they used these vegetation, like aerial vegetation views or whatnot, and he said, oh, everything, looked really beautiful, nice green. Well, as a lot of you have been telling me, does that look that bad? And when it starts burning up from the bottom up. That's where it starts browning. The leaves and everything on the bottom. So if you're looking at that from up here, an aerial view doing this whole vegetation bullshit that the USDA used, gotta admit that corn right there you think would look pretty damn good, right? Other than you can start seeing on the knobs up there, the lighter ground where it's starting to get rough looking. Yeah, well, that's this one right here. Probably the worst looking one out of all these four sitting here that you can really put your fingers around. I mean, there ain't a whole lot there if you were to weigh that ear of corn. So tell me how the vegetation camera or whatever the fuck, however they use it, the infrared vegetation thing is a real good accurate. I mean, it's bad enough. USDA, before a seed is ever put in the ground, tells us we're having record yields. But then they use this shit? I mean, I don't know. I know I'm being a whiny farmer according to some of you haters. I also am wearing a t-shirt with holes in it. Yeah, got a hole there. Got a hole on my shoulders and stuff. I'm just a cheap fuck. I can't even afford to wear a nice t-shirt when I'm doing my videos. Whatever. So, but yeah, that's where we stand right now. And like I said, it's Saturday. Tomorrow's rain looks like nothing for this area. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 days from now, and Wednesday, 3 to 4 days from now, is our next decent chance of rain. They'll probably change it by the time we get to that, because tomorrow was supposed to be a decent chance. Yeah, that's disappeared. So I guess we'll see what happens, and then maybe, I don't know, in another week after that or something, if we get at least a half an inch, something that would matter, we'll go and look at those same fields again and compare it. You guys will just have to look back at the video to compare it, because it's not like I can leave those ears sitting around for a week. They'll shrivel up and look all shitty, and so it's not like we can sit ones a week from now next to those and compare. But I don't know. I wonder if I threw them in my refrigerator over there. I don't know. But it is what it is. I mean, we need rain and we need it bad. Oh, and for you non-farmers, I tried writing on that with a marker. It didn't work so well. But anyways, if we get rain, it'll help these start plumping up and filling out. It's not going to change the fact that that's 12 around. That's made. It's not going to make that 15 or 16 like this is. It's not going to make this 16 and 18 or anything like that. What you see there is what you're going to get. However many rows of kernels around it is, and however long of kernels, whatever I wrote, I can't remember, 38 long, 37 long, whatever. That's not going to change. What's going to change is the girth, helping those kernels fill out, getting you the test weight. So yeah, 12 around is not great, but that was just randomly grabbing. That doesn't mean that whole field is 12 around. Quite sure there's probably some 14s in there, might even be some 16s. You'd have to measure out a certain length, pick like every third or fifth ear type thing, and do an average and all that. I used to do some of that shit, but no. I'm itching like a bastard right now just from walking in those fields. Because all the little pollen from the tassels is still laying on a lot of the leaves and stuff, because we ain't had any rain to wash it off. Yeah, so, but no, just for you non-farmers, what you see is what you get. Now it's all about getting the girth and filling the ear out. Also for you non-farmers, even number of rows around an ear of corn is what you get. because you notice there was 12, there was 16. I mentioned there could be 14. You could have 18. On a really good year, you can have 20, and I've even seen 22. But 14 to 18 is pretty normal around here. 16 to 18 is, you see a lot of. 12 you don't see a lot of. Sometimes it's the variety. Sometimes it's just a year like this where it didn't, we ain't had enough rain since having too much rain back in May during planting. But yeah, for you non-farmers, it's always an even number around. I know I've had people in the comments argue with me before that it's not always an even number. I'm so glad some non-farmers just feel like being keyboard warriors and, talk fucking shit like they know something and they don't. Like in the last video when I, defended John Deere because they have not moved all of their manufacturing to fucking Mexico. But I still have some people argue with me about where my combine was made. Whatever. I mean, I know where it was made. It was made in Belgium. So, God, these little freaking, bees or whatever they are. But I was kind of disappointed that our buddy Derek Cheney, Liz's little brother, never came back in on the last video about that getting finalized, the door getting fixed and whatnot. Well, Derek didn't come back to let me pin his comments so you could all rail the shit out of him like you did. Because, Derek was so smart. I bent the door frame. I'm not sure how you bend glass, but seems there is no real door frame, but whatever. So here's your one more thing. Allergies are horrible here. All three of us, me, Barb, and Chelsea, wake up in the morning and it's brutal because we've been so freaking dry. This little bee is pissing me off. And tons of people around here have been dying from allergies. It's like a sneeze fest around here. Yeah, we need some rain. But I've also had some of you ask, how do you get to the Grumpy Farmer Apparel link? All right, the little word more right next to the views, the number of views on the videos, push more, takes you to some of you have figured it out because some of you have sent me emails. Push that, it takes you to the description of the video, on any video, and it'll show you my email, it shows you the Grumpy Farmer Apparel link, it shows you the links to things like, if you go back to the grease gun video, the grease gun coupler, the fuel hose reel on that video, there's links in there, but you gotta push more to get to the description of the video to find all that shit. So, and then go get your Grumpy Farmer Apparel link. Yesterday, actually, from 2 to 8, Mad Moose, who makes all my stuff, had their 10-year anniversary party over in Cato. They had live music. They had food trucks there and whatnot. So we went to that yesterday. That was cool. So Derek and Kathy are good people. If you ever need anything made, call them. They'll ship to anyone, they'll ship it to you. If you're a business out there that wants t-shirts made or something. But yeah, that's how to do it. Just push the little word more, and that'll take you to the description of the video where you can find the Grumpy Farmer Apparel link and whatnot. I think my Instagram link is on there too, because I'm on Instagram. It's Andy the Grumpy Farmer. So, but yeah, so that's it. There's your one more thing, and we will see you in the next one, which hopefully the next one is me telling you I'm a lot happier because we got rain, measurable rain.